Historic recommendation by the January 6th Select House Committee.
I think what the committee did is they tried to highlight again each step of this multi-step conspiracy to show this wasn't a one-off.
The panel arguing Trump should never be allowed to serve in a position of authority again.
According to the committee, Donald Trump is a felon, an insurrectionist, someone who wanted to riot but just physically couldn't get there. Donald Trump's purpose and goal in advance was to overthrow the election.
Well, there you have it. The January 6th committee speaks, and America's cable anchors get in line. Now it's up to the Attorney General if he, too, will follow Congress. Merrick Garland now has the final decision. Today, the committee said it found evidence of 4 crimes by Donald Trump: assisting or aiding an insurrection, obstruction of an official proceeding, conspiracy to defraud the United States, conspiracy to make false statements. It is a first in America, a former president referred for felony charges. That said, President Trump has survived an awful lot of firsts: 6 bankruptcies with his businesses, the grab him by the whatever tape, 2 impeachments, Russian collusion, the Steele dossier, and January 6th. Professor Lauren Wright is here, Princeton University, and the aggressive progressive himself, heard on his podcast Around the World. Mr. Chris Hahn, it is nice to see both of you. Chris, have we, other than learning proof of things we already suspected, is there anything new coming out of the January 6th hearings?
No, I think it just keeps it fresh in the minds of Americans, and it makes a formal referral, which was their charge. And now, look, it goes into the political sphere and the legal sphere at the same time, right? Republicans are taking over Congress. Trump's numbers are fading. He's clearly a weight around their neck politically. And I think what the January 6th committee is saying is, look, if you didn't stand up to Donald Trump in any meaningful way before, it's now or never, because you're still going to have this guy around you coming, going forward politically. And I think a lot of Republicans don't understand that part.
Well,
I think they learned it.
I may have been with you a little bit up until that point. And Lauren, has the January 6th committee, if not actually proven anything, have they at least done the political task they were given, which is to, if not destroy Donald Trump, give an opening for another Republican suddenly?
Well, they tried to make it an apolitical task, and the raw video footage gave them the best shot at doing that. And on the days that was emphasized, that was probably the best presentation. But look, what will happen next? I have no idea why Republicans have decided to do this rebuttal. I don't know what they're going to say. I mean, they're going to supposedly focus on the lack of security, but just the fact that they're not defending Trump's actions or explaining what he did for the 187 minutes is glaring, and it falls into the same trap, which is they're still sticking with legislating or trying to figure out how the Republican Party wasn't somehow responsible for this, or at least the head of party, which was Trump.
Or at least complicit. And there were other names mentioned at the committee today, other Republican congressmen.
As long as this is in the mix, it's not good for Republicans.
No, anytime you're talking about
defending it, but they need to get away from.
No question about that. What I can't figure out then, Chris, is the timing on this, because you used to work in the Senate. You plan this kind of stuff. This is like the ultimate taking out the trash week. This is the week before Christmas. Everybody's thinking about a lot of things other than politics. By the time we come back January 3rd, it's over. Why didn't they do this a month ago? Why didn't they release the depositions a month ago? It almost says, hey, we don't have the goods.
You get no argument from me. I don't launch any new product in December, right? And that's really, and again, this isn't a new product. This is something they've been talking about all year, but I do think they should have probably got these indictments out in September and made it part of the election. That said, the election couldn't have gone any better for Democrats. So I think it's and any worse for Trump, let alone
I'm just going to correct you.
Right?
They're not indictments yet. They might be.
Not yet. Right. The recommendations. You're right. And so, look, I would have liked to seen this out sooner. And I think it probably would have made sense. But here we are, right? I think the job of Democrats going forward is to remind Americans that there are a lot of Republicans who are now going to try to pretend they never knew Donald Trump, that never held him accountable when they had the opportunity. And this is just one of many times you're going to see that over the next 18 months.
Yeah, but thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.